Morning everyone, and yes it is morning, and welcome to our series on ribs. So the first one that we're going to do is we're actually not smoking the first ones. The first ones are country spare ribs, which are actually not ribs. They're cut from the rib section of the front shoulder, but they call them country spare ribs. You can get them with bone in or boneless. These are boneless. And they're very fatty, but they're very thick with meat. But these we're gonna grill. We're not gonna barbecue. So this is just a real, just a few second video to show you how we prep all this. And there'll be another, there'll be other videos as far as the other spare ribs and whatnot. But this one here is pretty simple. Like I said, no bones, thick with meat, but they're also very fatty. So I did take some of the fat off. Don't take it all off because the fat is what does give you flavor. And for these, I like to use this. This has been a staple in our house for years, and I looked it up. This spike seasoning has been sold for over 50 years. There's 39 different seasonings, vegetables, herbs in here. It's very good. I use this exclusively on pork chops, pork ribs, and fish. You guys will love this. This is really good. So all I do is clean them, trim them a little bit, and then just get the whole thing seasoned up, all sides. Just like you would with a rub. Just season the whole thing nice and thick with this, and then we'll wrap it up in the, and see this all side. I don't like one side seasoned meat. I'm going to season all sides of it. We'll get the whole thing seasoned up, and then just wrap it up in the plastic and leave it set. You don't have to worry about this setting at room temperature. I know that there's a lot of people that might be concerned about, oh my gosh, you're setting it at room temperature and the bacteria, and you're putting it on a grill over fire. Trust me, it's going to be hot enough that if there is any bacteria, it'll get taken care of. The fire and the heat will take care of it. So it's easier to cook any kind of meat when you leave it set at room temperature for at least a half an hour before you cook. So here we go. Everything is all seasoned, all sides. And then we'll just wrap it up in the plastic and leave it set and get ready to grill them a little bit. We had several people that asked. We had a couple people that asked for recipes. And Kristen, you had it real simple. One word. You said ribs. So Kristen, here you go. Ribs. This is the beginning of the series. We're going to do 3 different styles of ribs. Okay. So what I got here is I've got country spare ribs, all right? And actually, these country ribs, they're not from the ribs at all. They're actually from the back part of the front shoulder. And you can get them boneless or you can get them with bone in. But they're very meaty and very fatty and very tasty, mostly because they are fatty. But these are gonna be grilled. They're not gonna be slow smoked. So we've got, after this, we've got some St. Louis style pork spare ribs that we're going to slow smoke, and we've got some beef short ribs that we're going to slow smoke also. So, but let's get started with this. Obviously, this is the first one. You guys saw this morning where we got it ready and cleaned them up, did a little trimming, got them seasoned. So I talked to you guys about the seasoning that I used. So they've been sitting here for a few hours, and we're going to get ready to grill them. So this here is, I'd like to talk to you guys for a second about grilling and barbecuing. All right, these ribs here, we're going to grill. All right, there actually is a difference between grilling and barbecuing, and the 2 words are not interchangeable. So grilling is something like this, where you put it on a grill where it's this, or burgers or hot dogs, where you put them on a grill at a high temperature and it takes 20 minutes or less to cook them and you're done. All right. Barbecuing is what we're going to do with the other ribs, where it takes a few hours. Okay, you're slow smoking, you've got lower temperature, and it takes, you know, a few hours, several hours, however long you prefer to do it. So there is a difference, and that is the difference. So we got these on. We're going to grill them. This here is a family favorite of the Applegates for many years. I have a raspberry sauce that I make that we grill these with, and then that we dip them in. And we are going to share a bunch of these sauces for the next couple of segments here. We talk about ribs. We're going to be talking about a mop. We're going to be talking about many sauces. And we're going to do a whole separate show that's just going to talk about sauces. I'm going to share all of the recipes with you guys for the sauces and the rubs. And so this one here is a raspberry sauce, which has been an Applegate family favorite for many years, ever since our daughters were little kids in grade school. I just wanted to talk to you real quick about this sauce. I said about this raspberry sauce and how we've had this for many years. So what it is this kind of gets back to the experimentation thing also. You know, many years ago, I was looking for something different. And I came across, it was actually an apricot jelly sauce. And sorry, but I'm just not much of an apricot jelly kind of guy. But I love raspberry. So I said, well, I used the exact same recipe. I just substituted the raspberry jelly for the apricot. So, you know, go ahead, experiment. Don't be afraid. But what I'm going to say is this here jelly, you guys know that jelly has a lot of sugar, okay? And because we're grilling instead of smoking, we're at a much higher temperature, all right? Sugar burns at about 265, I believe. So what we're going to do is we're not grilling these things the whole time with the raspberry sauce. What we're going to do is right at the end, just like a few seconds before they're done and ready to come off, we're going to put some of this raspberry sauce on just to get it cooked into it a little bit, but not burn the sugar. All right? And then what happens is after that, when we serve it, I'll take the raspberry jelly and we put it in little serving cups, so then you can cut a piece off and dip it in if you'd like. All right, so like I said, we are literally seconds away from these country spare ribs being done. So the raspberry sauce just goes on, just dab it on real quick. You don't need to use the whole thing because we like to save some. And then just give it a quick turn. We'll just let the grill cook that sauce in a little bit, but not enough to burn the sugars. That's it. That's it. Oh, you can smell it already. So, and then just give it another quick turn. See that? How it's cooked it in, but it's not burned it. You can still see it's a little bit purple, but it's not burned. That's it. Just a few seconds on there. And they're off. All right, everyone, we're done. Okay, here is your country spare ribs with raspberry sauce. Thank you for checking this out, and come back next week and the week after that. We're still going to keep rolling with our rib series. All right, I hope you guys like this, and like I said, we're going to do another show where we just talk about the sauces and the rubs. But I'm glad that you guys checked this out, and I hope that you check out the other ones. Thanks a lot.